those forces move southwards and do a lot of damage. He's going to be able to take us mineral only, but he really needs to spot the 12 o'clock and take it out alongside. He's actually going to go for the natural expansion, but it's fairly well defended. A lot of High Templar there. Should be a lot of storms alongside. Cal, meanwhile, not going to be able to move towards the 9 o'clock position. Quite a few lurkers in defensive posture. At the very least, he's going to be able to mop up the upper left. And Cal just being allowed to get back in this game. That one single Dark Templar that picked off, well, basically the entire economy in the upper left hand, and those 3 Dark Templar, or 4 Dark Templar that managed to really, alongside High Templars and Zealots and Dragoons, but just managed to pick off so many ground forces. 4 Scourge being allowed to die for no reason. All those lurkers actually going to put themselves on the high ground. This is going to give them a lot more range. Some of those burning off just so they can continue attacking those forces on the lower ground. They're going to be able to at least force this back. I think Hyuk's going to be able to force it back. One storm that catches all of those. Oh, when the Koreans go, ah, you know, whenever a storm goes off. 1-2 upgrades, 1 carapace, weapons 2. It's going to be a help at the very least, on those lurkers, that is. But meanwhile, Cal is hurting economically, really. This army is what he has. That 12 o'clock, he needs it. His mined out is natural. He's almost mined out his main. If he loses that 12 o'clock, that is going to be game. It doesn't matter, because Hyuk still has a semblance of an economy, but he also got to be hurting. Lose that upper left hand is bad. He really has to retake it, possibly take the 6. Really what he needs to do, take 1 more base and kill Cal's base, because Cal, I got to say, even though economically he's hurting, he's really paying beautifully. He's getting a lot of beautiful storms off, getting lurkers all over the place, using the Dragoons to their maximum potential to kill off those lurkers. Well, Hyuk's, well, he looks like he's just kind of running off all over the place. This is why he plays with good ZVZ. He only has to focus on one single thing, and that's micro-mutalisks, while keeping up troop production and expanding when he needs to. But here he needs to think about a lot more things. It's like he's a very good player in certain situations, but the more he has to think about in the game, the more he breaks at times, and that, I think, is one of Hyuk's major weaknesses. That just the more he has to pay attention to, it's kind of like something slips his mind, then he dies. Sorry. Well, not like dies. Like, oh, I forgot. Spontaneous explosion that involved farts for some reason. But now Cal's going to engage. Archon's at the front, going to take the brunt of some hits alongside Zealots and the Dark Templar. 1 single lurker to sit in the middle. Where is the final observer coming in? And that thing finally loses its life. But it has a fairly mixed army composition. Dark Templar army, we're going to go to the middle only. Oh, God, an Overlord yet again. 2, 3. I heard it. 4. Finally spotted, but still 4, and forcing the drones off the lines already so bad, man. But look at that conga line. Weapons 3 at this point for Cal. He's keeping up very well there, and fully saturated at the 12 o'clock. There's no overlord that spotted it. Doom drop at that location would kill it, unless Cal had his forces up close like he has right now. But it's really Hyuk also hurting for mining at this point. He really needs to pick up their upper left hand. He is doing that. And having just lost so many drones right now, it's just a horrible loss of drones right now. Both players are economically hurting. But honestly, I feel Cal less so. Dark Templar right in that base waiting, and there are no overlords. Just waiting. Okay, get them drones in there. Give me them drones. I got him. Meanwhile, going to have a DT running towards this 9 yet again. Pick off 3 drones and a Zergling or 2 before it is going to die, those Hydra Zerglings. But Cal doing a beautiful job of just making sure that Hyuk has to pay way too many things, just all over the place. Now the T is going to go the upper left. Hello, DTs. You're my friends. Where's the Overlord? The Overlord is nowhere to be seen. Finally, an Overlord coming in, but so many drones. 9, 10 kill DT. Oh, 10 kill DT. I think those are all drones. Holy crap. Just DTs is what he's keeping Cal in this game. This is just losing those drones. Not going to allow Hyuk to keep up putting up base. He's going to have mining for the mineral only for a little while longer, the upper left hand too, but he really needs that 6. Cal, I think, fairly soon is going to be comfortably be able to take that mineral only finally for himself, because he's only mining at 12 o'clock at the moment, but still managed to keep up enough production to really hold Hyuk back and be annoying. Hyuk has a large army. Look at this. A lot of Hydras, a lot of Zerglings, a couple of drones for some reason. He just has to be careful how he engages. He has to do some economic damage, not just run straight into Cal's army, because with Cal's army composition, he has a lot of goons, a lot of Zergling, a lot of Zealots, kind of ish. Yeah, kind of. First saying a lot of Zealots, then kind of ish. No, not no Zealots, 0. Morphing in a lot of Archons too, so he's going to go for very heavy Archon army right now alongside Zealots. Has some High Templars too to get those storms off on those large groups. And Hyuk really has been very premium with his storm dodging at the moment. But the only thing Cal is thinking about just holding this army. He's going to be able to build up this army Hyuk is going to be able to plant lurkers and sunken colonies the upper left and 2 sunken colonies. I'm really thinking he should have more. But both players have significantly large armies that can engage each other and can do a lot of damage. But those lurkers are 1-2 upgraded. Hyuk really hasn't been upgrading them more from what I can tell. Those hydras, of course, as well. But zerglings, there are a lot of zerglings, but they only have 1 carapace, so they're just going to die instantly. 1 storm going off. Ooh, losing the observer, that's critical. That's going to help. That's at least going to hold him off. Yeah, it was one more observer in there, but every single observer snipe is going to be helping him out a lot. Hyuk kind of really interestingly spreading him out very close to his men only, kind of splitting himself apart. Well, Cal, meanwhile, going to plant down natural expansion. Zerg is going to come in. They're not going to be able to engage. There's far too many zealots there. Cal being at least forced to move some of his army back, but he meanwhile moving to alongside adding. Okay, let's see. Alongside adding a cannon towards the 12 o'clock, he moves into High Templars. There, got it. Tongue twister. Yeah, Cal just so heavy on the Dark Templars. They're not very effective against, awesomely effective against the Hydras unless they're in a large group, and even that way not too much, but they're really good against the Zerglings. But Hyuk, meanwhile, with a nice counterattack, is going to pick out that third. Meanwhile, Cal just not being allowed to take, just because those 2 bases, that 12 o'clock and the 3 o'clock, so far away from each other that he can't move that army. He did have a small skeleton force there, but that got picked off fairly well. His entire army is going to be forced back. To defend that, to at least pick off whatever semblance of forces that are left in that. Hyuk really needs to start to think about, expanding soon, because he's mining a lot of gas all over the place, but those geysers can't have to be depleted at this point, I'm thinking. At the very least, very close. And it's kind of weird. This is a macro game where the players, there's not that many bases on this map. I mean, there are, let's see, 3 more bases. Cal has not taken his mineral only. Aside from that, there are 2 more bases. That's the 6 and the 7. 6 and 5. The 5 and 6, I'm sorry, lower left hand and south base, 6 o'clock. Those are both gas bases. And I think whichever first of these players takes it and holds it is going to be the winner. And I honestly feel Cal doesn't need it as much as Hyuk does. Hyuk does need an additional gas. Not just an additional gas, needs more than that. Cal with an absolutely beautiful block there with the forge. Means nothing except for Zerglings are going to be able to get through that. There are Hydras going to be able to range it, but that's what those High Templars are for. Just storm. Cal finally feeling safe at that 6, just adding in cannons, has those High Templars there in place. He feels fairly safe, so he's meanwhile just going to take this mineral only, has most of his army around that position. He's going to take it, hold it, and that might give him the game unless Hyuk goes and takes the mineral. I think he just could possibly take the mineral. Meanwhile, there's apparently going to be an engagement. Storm's coming up on all sides. Hyuk has a very spread out army right now, but storming a lot of forces. And Hyuk, meanwhile, coming in very piecemeal with his army. Very few lurkers all over the place, but these Zerglings and Hydras coming in very few at a time. And those Archons, meanwhile, just being allowed to engage. Storming everything. Oh, God, Cal, you are absolutely beautiful. Godzilla! Just those Hydralisks dying on all sides. All High Templars are morphing into Archons just to add to the war effort. Zealots playing absolute beautiful, killing not many Zealots out in the field, but he manages to clear up most of that army, and I think that's it for Hyuk. Yeah, you can see on his face he's not very happy. Just how he managed to turn his very early heavy advantage just due to DTs, turning into a massive disadvantage. Not going to lose the last of his army, and I'm seeing GG in a minute. High Templars, Archons, yeah. GG from Hyuk, and Cal to Oz's group, and look on that happy face. Godzilla! Godzilla! Oh, yeah. Hyuk going to move on to the final match where he's going to face... Well, lucky for him, he's going to face off against the Zerg no matter what. It's just going to be a question of what Zerg it is. So, GG guys, wrenching out. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Man, am I finally glad to see Cal going to the round of 16 in an MSL. Freaking hell, yes! Whew! I'm happy.